All right, let me know if you can hear me. Let's just stop with the music and just let me know if you can hear me or not. Give me a 1 in local. Give me a 1 in local if you can hear me and see the vid. That's 2. I got Tiki and Zoe. Let me put the music back on just in case. Got Becky. Got you. Okay. All right, I'm going to assume that we're all in. And again, I'm going to assume we're all in. If you can't get the TV to work, use this link in any regular web browser. All right. So just as a reminder, all of my previous lessons are on my YouTube channel at this link, which is the same link as blah. You can actually see, if you click that link, you can see what's going live right now. But all the lessons are on there if you wanted to go back. But what we are going to do today is a short lesson as a refresher on what we learned in our last lesson, because I wanted to drill it home because I was not able to be here last week. Thank you, Second Life. So first off, who can tell me how many half steps are in one whole step? First off, let me say hello to everybody. Hello, Emma. Hello, Tiki. Good to see you back. Hello, Shu. Hello, Zoe. Hello, Bish. Hello, Lori. Hello, Becky. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Opal. Hello, Raven. And hello, Ardara. That's our attendance for today. Okay. Becky, how many half steps are in one whole step? Yeah, that's right, Lori. How many? Okay, good. Well done, Becky. Um, okay, now, remember when we said that there were only two note pairings that were only separated by one half step? I'm going to bring up my keyboard. You can also bring up your perfect piano keyboard as well. Of course, I wasn't prepared. So I was doing too many things. There's our perfect piano keyboard. Does anybody remember what two note pairings, notes that are right next to each other, are only separated by half steps? Raise your hand. Tiki, do you know? Which two note pairings are only separated by one half step? B to C and E to F. Very good. Right. And you'll see that here. That's B to C here. And E to F here. And B to C again here. Right. Good job. So, 2 weeks ago, we built a major scale. 7 notes before you repeat the first note again at a higher pitch. We use a very specific pattern of whole steps and half steps. Does anybody remember what the pattern was to build or progress from one note, which is the key note, to build a major scale? Ardara, what progression of half steps and whole steps? And you can just do WS for whole step and HS for half step. Do you remember? Close. The whole step, half. Remember, those are what is called a tetrachord. And the two tetrachords, which are whole, half, are separated by one whole step. So it is not whole, half, but whole, half, whole, half. Ardara, you got it. Well done. And that is exampled right here. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So we'll show it with a C scale just for reminder purposes. There's your C. Up a whole step to B. Whole step to... let me do that again. C. Up a whole step to D. Up a whole step to E. Separated by a half step, as we just stood it. Now we got a whole step to separate the tetrachord. So it's going from F to G. And then we do the next tetrachord. Whole step, A, whole step, half step to C. So this is the... So it starts on a C, and it's a major scale. What is it called? Very simple. Raise your hand. Anyone? Ardara. Let them know. What is it? C major scale. Well done. So a C major scale has all natural notes. Who can tell me what it means when a note is natural? We covered this for the first time, I think, 2 weeks ago. Who can tell me what it means when a note is a natural note? I'll give you a hint. All these notes are natural notes. What do all these notes have in common that say, these notes have? Ardara, what? No flats, no sharps. Awesome. Love it. Now we want to make sure everybody else gets involved. So those of you that are not raising your hands, let's get your hands raised in the air now, right? Okay, so C major scale, all the notes are natural notes, which means there are no sharps or flats. So the key of C takes advantage of these previous note pairings, which we talked about, to fit in the notes of the major scale. In other words, when the major scale pattern comes up, it's the use of these half steps. I'm basically telling you what you already know. All natural notes. So, all right. We talked about key signatures last time as well. Does anybody remember what a key signature is? What is a key signature? Somebody else besides Ardara or Tiki. Come on, be brave. Ardara, I see your hand in the air, but I want to see if anybody else knows. You're doing very well, by the way. Thank you. Anybody else? You tell him, Tiki. Be brave. There are no wrong answers. Emma, sure. What is a key signature? Lemano. Very good. Next to the clef indicates flats or sharps. It's actually in between, always at the beginning of the step, between, here it is right here. This is actually a key signature, even though there are no sharps or flats. So what's the key signature right here that my my cursor is circling right now? What scale, what key is shown right here in between the treble clef and the time signature? Allison. It is C, yes. It's a C. It's a C major scale, as we covered. No sharps or flats, and so there would be no indication of sharps or flats if you don't have sharps or flats. So very, very good. All right. I was a little worried that you hadn't caught on, but you guys are doing great. So it may be a shorter lesson than normal, but we're going to try it again, only this time we're going to start with a G major scale. So you got to find your keynote. Go to your perfect piano keyboard. And get it so that the G is the low note of the scale, the keynote, which is right there. And it can be any G. Any G on the keyboard. Now we're going to do our scale progression of whole steps. So whole step, half step, separated by one whole step. Now we start again. Whole step, and half step. Now, was there anything different? Anybody raise their hand and tell me what's different about that scale versus, besides sounding different and starting on a different note? Okay. Ardara, thank you. Can anybody tell me what the difference is? Go ahead, Ardara. let me know. Yeah, you're probably typing it out, so we'll give you time to type it out. Pitch is different. Actually, the steps are not different. It's still whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. But the difference is they're all natural notes except for so the pitch is different, yes, because we're starting out on a different note. We started out on a C before, now we're starting out on a G. But the C stayed on all the white notes, all natural notes. The G, well, we're talking about a C major scale. So all major scales are gonna follow the same theory, no matter what. Now there are minor scales and stuff that uses different tunings, but as far as C major is concerned, as far as any major scale is concerned, you always go whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So there is one difference, and that is, what note is this? What's that note there? What's this note? Raise your hand. Look at your perfect piano, or look at mine. And make sure that it's focused so you can see it, because you can read it right on the screen. So if it's the black note between F and G, and if we're just dealing with, we'll say we're just dealing with sharps, it could also be a G flat, but based on what we're going off right now, what would it be called? Allison. F sharp. Well done. All right, so this is where we're going to continue on, and we're just going to go into a little more detail about how this all works. So let me get rid of our perfect piano keyboard. By knowing this progression of steps, we're going to be able to construct a major scale on any given note. Shut up, Cranston. Okay, so what does a key signature tell us? It tells us two things. The key that a piece of music is written in, and as a result of this, it also tells us how many sharps or flats we are going to be playing or reading on a piece of music. So here we are. The next screen will show us a visual example of what we were just talking about. This is a key signature, and the hashtag or the sharp symbol is on this line, which is what we just called it. So if you remember your moniker, if you're going off of the note names, every good benefactor deserves fun, F sharp. And what the key signature does is it tells you that for every note that you see or read on this line farther along in the music, you will be playing F sharp, even if it's listed as a note without an accidental on it. Unless it is a natural, which will cancel it out for that measure. But for all intents and purposes, just for what a key signature does, that's what a key signature does. It means that every note that follows on the staff until it changes, because a key signature will change sometimes within a song or on a piece of music. So this being the G major scale. And it's the same thing on the bass clef. As you can see, good boyfriends don't forget anniversaries. That's the F line, and the sharp is on that line. Both of these key signatures, even though they look different because this one's on the second line because it's on the bass clef, and this one's on the top line because it's on the treble clef, they're still G major scales. Majors, right. Major scales. Blah. Okay. I don't think we have to go into a lot of detail because we just did that very well, and you guys remembered very well, which is great. So let's look at some flats. We never covered flats before. Does anybody remember what a flat does to a note? We know a sharp raises the pitch of a note 1/2 step. What does a flat do? Raise your hand. Ardara. Lowers at a 1/2 step. Well done. So let's look at a B flat major scale. So we're going to go on our keyboard. Oops, let's bring the keyboard up so you can see it. Otherwise, really, what's the point, Cranston? Opal. Oh, stay with us. Let's put the yellow B, which is right here. And if this is a B, and we're starting with a B flat major scale, we're going to start here on the B flat, and we're going to do our major scale progression, and it's going to look a little differently. And before we go into too much confusion, because next week and the week after, we'll talk about why some key signatures have sharps and why some key signatures have flats. But right now, we're just going off principle and how the progression makes the notes show up. So we're on B flat here. 1/2 step up to C. Or no, 1 whole step up to C. Whole step. 1/2 step up to C. Or whole step. Whole step. C flat, yes. E flat. I can't read the notes. So, B flat. C. D. 1/2 step up to E flat. Back to a whole step. To F. To G. And 1 step up, 1/2 step up at the end to G flat. Wait. To B flat. I can't read that. I can't read them. But you know what I'm talking about. So, B flat, whole step, 1/2 step, 1/2 step, whole step, 1/2 step. So the two notes in a B flat major scale that have accidentals are what? We played them, but we also have them shown right here. Raise your hand. Which two notes? That's okay, Tiki. Did everybody follow what I just said? Ardara, okay. Oh, wait a minute. Ardara, hold on. Allison? What two notes? B flat and E flat. And you can see them personified here on the treble clef. Every good benefactor, B flat. And then F, A, C, E, this space, there's E flat. And if you go down here, what you do is you just take them down one line. So, good boyfriends, don't forget anniversaries, B flat, and all cows eat, E flat. Great. Now, we're going to end the class here for today because next week I'm going to get into more detail about why some key signatures are flats and why some key signatures are sharps, and hopefully easy ways to be able to read what key a particular piece of music is in. So it's a short class today, but I did want to just leave extra time just in case we'd lost something over the break or if you hadn't quite grasped it. Now, actually, before I do this, Ardara has been the one who has done a majority of the answering. Does everybody else understand what's going on? Shu, Lori, Becky. It's okay if you're shy and you don't want to answer. That's fine. I just want to make sure before we progress that you understand what we're talking about. Emma, Raven, Zoe, Macy, Opal, Melissa. It's fine. It's fine. It's good. Is there anybody who does not understand what's going on? Excellent. So we're going to end the class here, and we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot.